in our culture, I don't think our artists have gotten to the position where they are comfortable with going to award ceremonies and they lose out, and they don't win.
So being nominated and not taking.
I don't think we've gotten to that. Imagine a Headies Award that has the Artist of the Year nominees, Wizkid, Davido, Tiwa, Burna Boy, and all four of them were in the building. God damn it!
As a nomination, look, I've been nominated. Oh my, that in itself.
The
is
Grammy
you're
Award
looking at
nomination is big.
5 people. It's almost like saying 5. This year, these 5 people have got the best 5 tracks.
You're listening to Headies Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to a brand new episode of Headies Live, the official Afrobeats Podcast. Of course, this is where I, myself, Headies Olajide, where I review the Afropop headlines and the culture headlines and viral stories over the last 7 days alongside my guests. And we'll be sharing our opinions on that. As always, you can like, share, comment, subscribe on the platforms that you get the podcast on, be it Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Soundcloud, whatever. Keep the support coming. We appreciate that a whole lot. And if you're in the UK, you can also catch us every single week. That's on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and on Monday at 7 p.m. a repeat on Yanga TV, Sky 186 and FreeSat 171. Now, joining me in the studio today to break down the headlines and the stories is a brother of mine, a colleague in the industry, a broadcaster, presenter, and producer extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my brother, D-Boy Dayo.
Yep. It's a pleasure to be here, man. It's a pleasure.
Listen, man, thank you very much for joining me. I know it's been an eventful last couple of months for everybody, not only COVID-19, family changes and everything, but how are you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. Like you said, there's been so much for everyone, but we've stuck our foot in. We're keeping our heads sane, and there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Facts.
We're excited, man.
Thank you for joining me. So some of the headlines that we'll be looking at this week. Again, it's always impossible to keep Shatta Wale out of the news. Another headline story coming out of Ghana with Shatta Wale's response to Yapono, who called for beef, or shall I say pretend beef, so that they could get the industry kind of interesting. Shatta Wale had some very interesting words for that. We'll be looking at Stevie Wonder's viral video that changed the world this week, where he kind of confessed to Oprah Winfrey that he will be moving to Ghana really soon. I want to know what Nigerians think about that. The Headies Award winners and, of course, the controversies at the Headies Award in Lagos, Nigeria this past week, and a lot more. Now, let's get into it. We're starting in Nigeria, where this past week saw the prestigious Headies Award ceremony take place. The award ceremony is one of the biggest in Africa, rewarding acts for their great content and success in the past year. Obviously, 2020 was difficult. Was a difficult year for everyone, especially in the entertainment industry, as musicians couldn't perform live nor promote their music the normal way, and have had to sit out the last 12 months like the rest of us. However, there has still been some reasons to celebrate within the Nigerian music industry, from surprise stars like Omale to incredible music from the other big stars, and lots more. Now, the biggest winner on the night was what's it called? I think it was Fireboy. Yeah, but we could also say Wizkid was also a big winner because he took home the Artist of the Year. But however, Fireboy walked away with 5 Headies Awards, which included the best R&B album, the best pop album, the best pop single, Revelation of the Year, and another one I think it is. Now, other winners were Niniola, Ladipo, Simi, you call her like Niniola, definitely. Simi.
I told you about Fireboy, man.
We're gonna talk about it. And Wizkid for the Artist of the Year. Now, let's get into it. The Headies Award winners, and basically, you might want to say losers, but I'll just say winners of the night. First of all, what were your thoughts about the Headies Award that took place in Nigeria?
First and foremost, shout out to the Headies for making it
happen
in these circumstances. COVID has been doing its madness, and
Facts.
to put an event like that in these circumstances must have been really difficult and challenging. But shout out to Fireboy, man.
Yeah.
I know what Colin was saying. Fireboy he's the guy is he's dope.
He's
just dope.
He's mad talented. Yeah. Like I said, he came in to the industry with a classic album.
Yeah.
Not that many musicians within the Afrobeats, Afropop world has been able to kick the door down with what will go down 10 years' time as a classic album. And that's what it did.
Yeah.
What really should have happened was the Headies Awards should have taken place in 2020, where Laughter, Tears, and Goosebumps should have killed the entire industry. However, because of what happened, the Headies Award was pushed into 2021, and he had released a second album in Apollo, which also had to come in and battle for the awards. I believe Laughter, Tears, and Goosebumps took home one. There was one award for that. Then apart from that, the others, Apollo did very well. What are your thoughts about Apollo, the album?
Well, Apollo album's dope. I mean, for me, I got the opportunity to speak to Fireboy. Like, for me, the best track on it, for me anyway, is Tattoo. I love Tattoo.
And it won the best R&B single.
R&B single. And the video as well. I remember speaking about it on our show, Mansour, and I thought that Fireboy, I feel like he's definitely ahead of his time in the way that he conducts, he writes, he produces, his inspiration behind these videos. When we spoke to him, I just feel like he's definitely a few classes above his level. And, I'm just happy to see him win as much as he did.
Absolutely.
I think he definitely deserves it.
And then he performed on the night as well. Okay. He gave a dope performance on the night. Another category of the Headies Award that's super always very interesting is the next rated. And
I want to ask you actually, why is there always so controversy around the next rated? Why do people talk about it so much?
So the next rated award is basically the spotlight award for the next artist that the Headies Award and the Nigerian music industry believes is about to take the next step up to join the big superstars. Okay. So when you look at the history of the people that have picked the next rated award, I think Davido has picked it. I think Kiss Daniel has picked it up. Those are the kind of artists that have picked up the next rated award.
Like a prediction of who's going to blow.
Yeah, so this is the guy that's about to join the upper echelons of Nigerian music. Now, the nominees this year were the likes of Thames, Omale, Oxlade, Bella Shmurda, the list goes on. Those are artists that in 2020, I believe, have had an incredible year. But I said it from the minute I saw the nominees. Without a shadow of doubt, Omale was going to smash that category. Yeah. And I say that with all due respect to the beautiful and talented artists in that category, like Oxlade, who I believe is next level up, by the way. 2021, Oxlade is the guy, quote me on it, he's the one that's going to shake this industry beyond, recognition. Thames is amazing. However, for an Omale to release his first single in February, I believe it was, in 2020, and by May, he became the fastest growing pop artist out of Africa. Not only Nigeria.
Sensational.
His EP went crazy. Yeah. The excitement and the rumblings within the international record labels, everybody scrambling for his signature. That went stupid. And he just went banger after banger after banger. His vibe, changed, almost kind of slowed down the tempo of Afrobeats and Afropop music. Yeah. This new generation, they're doing something that's different that we haven't seen in a couple of years, which is like R&B, soul, Afrobeats, vibes. They just
really
slowed it down.
Yeah. So do you think, looking at the next rated category, do you think that in the last sort of 3-4 years, this has been the most competitive?
It is.
Category.
Absolutely. Bella Shmurda, he's basically come from nowhere, from the streets. That is now being touted as the voice of the streets. Yeah. We know how important street pop, street hip hop, and street rappers and artists.
I think it was nominated in another category. I think
of course.
For the street pop.
Yeah. So the fact that he also was put in that category, we've seen what he done with the record with Olamide. We've seen what he's done with records with Latan, with a host of records. Yeah. He's been very, very successful. And also Thames. Thames is darling of the industry at the moment. Yeah. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I think the reason why there was not that many people saying anything was because it looked like Omah had, the edge on everybody just because of the success he had in 2020. So, yeah, but shout outs to everybody in that category. And the fact that when Omah went on stage to pick it up, he went there with Oxlade and Bella Shmurda.
Yeah.
And that was the sign of unity that Afrobeats and Afro-pop culture needs.
Changing.
What did that symbol and that image show to you?
I think for me, it's funny, we spoke about this as well.
Yeah.
I feel like in the music industry, especially in Nigeria, sometimes the people always the fans sometimes tend to promote the clash. Okay, who's better out of this and this? But what Omah did in that moment was unity.
Absolutely.
And for me, I saw that and. I got goosebumps just rewatching the clips and just thinking, yo, this guy brought his people together.
Facts.
I said, look, he's almost saying like, look, we won this. It's for all of us. So shout out to him, man. Like, more power to him. I really respect that and I rate that.
Yeah, and then another big winner was obviously Wizkid, who picked up the Viewers' Choice Awards and the Artist of the Year. Now, the Viewers' Choice Awards, the minute I picked it up, I said on Twitter, to a lot of attacks, it has to be said, but obviously the Wizkid FC, they loved it. I said on Twitter that it's going to be very difficult to defeat Wizkid in a Viewers' Choice Awards category whenever he's nominated, especially in Africa. Because his fans are one of the most consistent fan bases in pop music, period.
Absolutely. I need to understand, how the Viewers' Choice is selected.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it's from the fans. The fans vote.
Yes.
Vote.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's based on the success that, the artists have had throughout the year. And then the Viewers' Choice is a voting category that's left to the fans.
I think one thing we have to continually do is we have to continually celebrate Wizkid for what he's done for the culture and what he's done for the scene, how he's been able to drive it, the barriers he's broken. So for me, it's like, we're celebrating him now, but there's so much more we have to give him. Give him his flowers right now in the moment. He's just released an amazing album.
Yeah.
What more can you say about Wiz? You can't. He's a legend, man. He's a legend.
What about the Artist of the Year category? A lot of people had their eyebrows raised for that because obviously you're going to be looking at everybody else.
I was looking at who wasn't in that category, and the obvious one was, we didn't see no Burna Boy. That for me, that was,
So that's one of the questions.
Yeah.
With the success of African Giant, which was released in August in 2019, coming into 2020, and then the success, whether people like it or not, of Twice as Tall.
I think it's a bit unfair for people to judge Twice as Tall.
I've said that.
Using African Giant as a...
Absolutely.
As,
African Giant is a classic album.
Exactly.
There's no comparison there. Twice as Tall, you judge it on its own.
Exactly. Yeah? If you look at Twice as Tall in itself, it's an amazing album. It's an amazing body of work.
Yeah.
But people will continue to use African Giant as a measuring stick, and that doesn't bode well for anything that he puts out. They're consistently going to expect him to beat African Giant, and how do you beat that? I think it might have been you I heard talk about the Nas's album. When we look at Illmatic, a lot of people are always going to want him to do Illmatic, but no. He's not. He's going to bring out other albums.
20 years down the line,
Illmatic.
We're still talking about Illmatic as a classic album of 20 years ago. However, we've appreciated Nas's talent going forward since then. His battle and beef with Jay-Z was widely respected. Yep. So we have to look at, what Burna Boy did with African Giant, a fantastic classic album. And then what he's done with Twice as Tall. Yes, a lot of people still have questions about Twice as Tall. The sounds might be a little bit varied, it might not be for you or whatever. What I say to people is this, and I consistently say it. When you put out an album that has about 10, 12, 13, 14 songs, and at least 7, 6, 7, 8 songs are to your target market, you've done well.
You've done well. You've done well. You put 13 tracks out and 7 of them are to your target art,
bro.
You've done well.
And that's what I say. I always start at Onyeka, Bebo, Comma, 2023, Bank on it. I know Vex. You've hit me.
There's hits.
So the minute I've seen all of those records that I'm happy with, he could do whatever he likes. He has earned the rights to do whatever he likes on an album, especially having put out his 5th album, I believe it is. That gives you the right
absolutely
to do whatever you like.
I'm going to put it to you, Shopsy, from an insider perspective.
Yes.
Why do you think Burna Boy, when looking at all of these things that we've spoken about, why do you think he wasn't on any of the categories?
I think it's probably going to be a relationship thing.
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you. I think because first of all, he's in Nigeria at the moment. The Headies Awards, I've been one of the people that have said publicly that African award ceremonies needs to be treated with a lot of respect that we treat the international award ceremonies. If we don't celebrate ourselves at home, why are we running and looking for validation internationally? Nobody understands our culture, our music, our people, our fans more than the organizations at home. Absolutely. That's one. And I try to plead to the artists as well that regardless of how successful you become, it's always nice that we still celebrate at this incredible home-based award ceremonies. You have to understand the biggest hip-hop artists and the Black American superstars, regardless of their dream of the Grammys or whatever, the BET Awards is one incredible night that a lot of them fail they always want to attend it and they always want to celebrate it because it's by us for us. So that's very, very important. But going back to the Burna Boy situation, I know he's back home in Nigeria, and I felt that, I'm sure, I don't know the backings in there, but I would have expected that, the Headies Awards organizers would have reached out to him. Davido flew out on the day of the awards. We saw it publicly, private jet with the fam and the crew.
He flew back to Lagos.
He went to America.
On the day of the awards? Yeah.
So instantly, when you see that, but for me, I was happy to see Wizkid there because of how important Wizkid is to the culture and him showing up at, a Nigerian awards ceremony sends a strong message to the young up-and-coming talent.
He's the people's champ.
To say that this ceremony still means a lot to me.
It does.
It is a subtle message that the young artists, even no matter how big Fireboy or Joe Boy or Omale gets in the future, they will remember that the Headies Awards still means something to me. Absolutely. And people always talk about why sometimes does Wizkid, always get it right with decision making. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. But he gets it right at the crucial time. Yeah. Showing up at that award ceremony.
So important.
When instantly, the videos on social media triggered us that we were watching it online. We were like 20, 30,000 strong on YouTube. Watching it internationally from our homes, wherever around the world. And that's in addition to the millions that were watching it live on TV in Nigeria. And I can assure you, one of the triggers was the social media clip that filmed Wizkid walking into the building. Those things are very important. And I think, again, that it has to be a relationship situation. And sometimes I also have to, admit, in our culture, I don't think our artists have gotten to the position where they are comfortable with going to award ceremonies and they lose out. And they don't win.
So being nominated and not taking...
I don't think we've gotten to that well yet. And maybe that's a part that we need to educate some of our artists at and say, the Headies Award night should be a night when everybody comes to party.
Absolutely.
So the after parties should be just as glamorous as the after parties of the Oscars or the Grammys or whatever. It should not just be the award alone. That night should be a night when entertainers see each other for the first time in maybe the whole year. Everybody cleans up, mops up good, and comes to have fun.
Takes selfies.
Yes, and maybe even find ways to collaborate from that. Yeah. What's up, my people? My name is Shatta Wale, aka Shopsidu, aka the Energy God, and I'm officially on Fanbiz. Now, Fanbiz is a partner of Shatta Wale, the official Afrobeats podcast. So you can hit me up on there if you have any questions about getting into the music industry, about the Afrobeats culture, and I'll specifically speak to you. Like I said, I'm giving free advice on Fanbiz at the moment, so make sure you join Fanbiz and hit me up for more information. But most of our entertainers, I believe some of them feel like, man, if I ain't winning nothing, man, I might as well not turn up. Yeah. And maybe I also heard in the grapevine that Wizkid was flying private jet from Ghana to Lagos for the Headies Award. That means something. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So instantly, we need to find a way to get beyond the gongs to start thinking about the ceremony, the celebration of talent, the celebration of art and creativity, and the incredible efforts that some of these organizers put to the table. And hopefully one day we will be able to see. Can you imagine a Headies Award that has the Artist of the Year nominees, Wizkid, Davido, Tiwa, Burna Boy, and all 4 of them were in the building? God damn it.
I think we need to start celebrating nominations. I
That's
feel
what
like
I'm
even as a
saying.
nomination, look, I've been nominated. Oh my, that in itself.
The
is like
Grammy
you're
Award
looking at
nomination is big.
5 people. It's almost like saying 5. This year, these 5 people have got the best 5 tracks. Or this year, these 5 people got the best 5 albums. Just being nominated alone is enough for celebration. And that culture, that idea that, look, I've been in that category of top 5 should be celebrated.
Absolutely,
You know,
man. Absolutely. So we need to look at that a lot more. But shout outs to the Headies Award organizers and all the people, all the winners, all the nominees, all the people that made incredible music in the last 12 months. You know, we appreciate you all. And Niniola, man, before I go, I have to talk about Nini's acceptance, walking on stage and just giving it that blow of her voice.
I really have to big up Nini. And one of the things, you know, that we've spoken about, and I've seen it on social media a little bit, there was this thing about like her, that Tenny come in and like, you know, her living in the shadow of Tenny now in these times. But Nini is, you know, she's standing on her own 2 feet. If anything, she's still got the quality, the essence, everything that brought her into the limelight in the first place. So shout out to her. It was really nice to see her pick up an award.
Niniola, I've got to be honest with you. First of all, we the the fans and the audience are responsible for a lot of nonsense within the industry, and we have to be honest with ourselves. Niniola or Tenny coming into the culture has absolutely nothing to do with Nini's talent. And the beauty of both sisters is they have 2 completely different
sounds
and identities
totally
and
different.
styles.
Yeah.
Now, coming back to Niniola, she had a year where she had the biggest record, arguably, in the world.
Yeah.
Maradona. Let's be real with ourselves.
Huge.
Was beyond our borders.
Yeah.
Maradona smashed it from Nigeria to South Africa to Miami to Italy to Paris.
Big tune.
Biggest record. Unfortunately, you know, again, maybe she didn't get enough celebration at that time and the highlights, and obviously other things were happening. Other artists were dropping different things. I think she picked up a couple of awards that year, but to see her still get a nomination, especially for her latest album, Colors and Sounds, which has collaborators like Afrobeats, Timbaland in there, Nonso Amadi in there. You know, these are Femi Kuti in there. Absolutely. You know, this is another fantastic piece of work that displays the array of sounds that we produce out of Africa when it comes to the music. And that lady, I tell you what, has an amazing voice.
She's amazing.
And that's what she did on stage. Plus, she's got an R&B EP about to drop.
Ah.
Yeah, listen.
That's insider knowledge, right?
Yeah, but she's even put it out now.
She put it out, okay.
She's told people that it's about to drop. So you will catch what this woman is about. Yeah. She is crazy with
I love her energy, man. I love Nini's energy. I love how she, you know, we interviewed her not too long ago, and you know, just the way her aura and her love for music as well. It's not so much about the fame. Obviously, we understand how she came into the limelight. She had to do it an unconventional way through the award system, but you know, I just love her love for music. You know, her passion. When you speak to her, she's very passionate about it.
Absolutely.
And you know,
and she's an Ekiti girl as well. So she's got the energy, the same type of energy that flows through us.
Jeez.
Do you understand what I mean? And finally, another award winner that I was super excited about. I really did. What's that song? Ladipo featuring Simi.
Yeah.
I Want to Know You. That record came out of nowhere and took off like crazy.
Yeah.
Ladipo is an incredible rapper affiliated with Maven's Records, had been doing his thing for years. And to finally get a little bit of, you know, that splash of approval, that made me feel good.
I like Ladipo, man. Like, you know, being a rapper in the industry is difficult. It is difficult.
Tough.
You know, I just feel like sometimes you just have to, you know, just be patient, take a step back and maybe reevaluate your delivery. And I feel like the collaboration with Simi in itself was
left
genius.
field.
Was left field, was genius. So shout out to Laddie Poe, man. He deserves everything he's getting right now.
Well, staying in Nigeria at the Headies Awards, where award-winning comedian and co-host of the show, Bovey, caused a stir on social media when he cracked a joke as he saw Wizkid in the audience. He said Wizkid pretty much blows artists he collaborates with, which basically means he makes them bigger when he features them. He went ahead to mention names such as Duncan Mighty and Tiwa Savage, to which fans of the superstar Tiwa Savage rebuked the comment, with some saying Bovey's comments were misogynistic and sexist. So let's take a listen.
Come on, this is our international superstar. Show some love to Wizkid in the building.
Round of applause, guys.
Wizkid in the building. You know, I pray for Wizkid's type of grace because I actually first Wizkid blew, but now I feel like upcoming. No, but you'll be human being, no. Strong one.
I agree.
You know why I like Wiz? Other artists as well, but especially Wiz. You know, you don't even need to talk. Ingo just tweet love. Boom. You tweet emoji. You they work on people's emotions. I swear. Wiz, whether you feature him or he feature you, Wiz go blow you.
You don't mean it.
Oh yeah. Actually, even people who don't blow before, either they feature Wizkid feature them, they go blow more. Yeah.
Like who?
You blow Duncan Mighty. You blow Tiwa. I even follow Thames on social media. I know they've been doing some studio work lately, so I know say go blow them. Wait, I bet you don't blow them. Because people have a song together. Right?
Right. I bet Wizkid there. If you get any time, I bet you go try blow us. I bet they find
No, you can blow you. Me, I'm blown.
Bobby, I thought we were together on this.
I'm blown. I can blow myself.
Well, we've all watched that video. We've seen the joke. What are your thoughts, your initial thoughts when that happened? I was watching it live. So when that happened, what were your thoughts?
For me, I just, Nigerian comedy, you have to just understand what Bovey was trying to do. He wasn't talking about blowing her literally as an artist. Obviously, he started with Duncan Mighty, so that might have... He's a comedian, and as a comedian, you have to be very genius in the way you deliver some of your comedy. Like, he spoke about blowing. He ended it with telling his co-host, like, when his co-host said, he will blow us, he said, no, be me, you go blow.
I'm blown
already, you go blow you. So, as if you're Nigerian and in fact, if you're African, you don't even need to be African to understand what he was trying to say. So it was comedy, and I think, like, some people took it a bit too far with their, we understand what Bovey was trying to say. I understand that.
I think, first, when I saw him say, Wizkid is in the building, I was thinking, because I knew he was going to go somewhere with this. Yeah. And the minute he was like, you blow anybody you feature or collaborate with, they blow him. You blow Duncan Mighty. That was the first punch. Because Duncan Mighty, again, is one of the superstars of Afrobeats music who's been successful for a long time. However, Wizkid's recent collaboration with Duncan Mighty brought him back to the surface. So, when he said that, a lot of people within the industry would understand what he meant by him blowing Duncan Mighty. But when he went to Tiwa Savage, obviously it was a double-edged sword, in the sense that fans and observers would think, what is he trying to say here? Yeah. Is he trying to go back to the normal viral stories, or maybe both of them were in a relationship, or was he trying to talk about him, literally making her more popular with the collaboration?
That's the genius in his comedy.
That's the genius and the freedom of a creative, what a creative should have. With regards to the collaboration, obviously when Wizkid collaborates with anybody, you get a lot more popularity for the project or the content than you would with any jack coming from the Afrobeats industry. So that's not something to contend. However, with the female artists, with the likes of Tiwa Savage and a lot of her colleagues, us fans have become a little bit more sensitive because we feel like they are easy targets. you know, the easy targets. Oh, there you go. They're going to talk about Tiwa Savage and Wizkid again. Do you understand what I mean? So it was almost like all the fans were like, no, I hope you don't. Like, the minute he said, oh, I'm like, nah. But I saw one, when people talked about misogynistic and sexist, I just want to say, personally, I didn't think it was. I think we have to understand the difficult roles that comedians have to play in entertainment. Sometimes they find the most uncomfortable way to crack jokes or to pass messages. And their art that's where the genius is. And even though we might be the victim of that gunshot when you're sitting in front of the stage and you hate it, we still have to allow them a little bit more freedom to, you know, just to crack a little bit of a joke and take it with a pinch of salt. You know, to the Tiwa Savage fans, which I'm one of, I was ready to swing. And I felt it too. But I also just giggled and understood exactly what he was saying. And they went for him hard the morning after, bro. Twitter was crazy. And Wizkid, the funny thing was, shout outs to Femi sitting next to Wizkid. When he said, you blowed on Kamaiti, Femi was like, even though Wizkid was giggling. And when he said Tiwa Savage, Femi was like, what?
Relax.
Yo, relax. So, yeah, man, that was very, very funny. But we have to understand that these guys deserve their artistic freedom and just a little bit more creativity, man. That's what they do. They shock value when it comes to comedians. Now, over to the USA, where a recent video went viral showing iconic musician Stevie Wonder telling TV legend Oprah Winfrey that he can't wait to move to Ghana. The singer said he didn't like how black people were being treated in the USA and was ready to relocate to Ghana permanently. Let's take a listen.
I promise you, if you do the right thing, I'll give you this song. I'll give it to you. You can have it. Because I want to see this nation smile again. Oh. And I want to see it before I leave to travel to move to Ghana. Because I'm going to do that.
You're going to move permanently to Ghana?
I am.
You are? Why?
Because I don't want to see my children's children have to say, oh, please like me, please respect me, please know that I'm important, please value me. What kind of is that?
My brother, Stevie Wonder, one of the greatest musicians to walk the face of this earth, has done it for decades, continuously being successful, an incredible writer, singer, performer, everything. One of the most recognizable voices and faces within black culture as a whole. When you heard that clip of him saying he was looking forward to moving to Ghana permanently, what were your thoughts?
Two things. First thing is, okay, so you want to move to Ghana. So what you're saying is you're unhappy about your current situation in the United States. So your decision is to leave the situation, not speak out, because, you know, maybe I'm too young to remember, but I really can't remember Stevie Wonder as someone who has really spoken out that much about what the current situation is in America. So, you know, I think
in the last 1 year?
In the last, I say like in my time, because I don't know, like you're from a different generation. He probably has, but he hasn't been as vocal as some other artists. Yeah. I would have liked to see Stevie Wonder be a bit more vocal about what's going on in America, the race relations, speak out about what's going on. I wouldn't always say like the solution is to run to another country. Now, running to Ghana, if your decision is to go to Ghana, great, because that's like Africa, Nigeria, we've always promoted that black Americans and people who don't, you know, you talk about African power, black power, whatever, but you don't actually come to Africa to see what it's like. If your decision now is to move to Africa, stick to it and come to Africa. Oh, like if it's Nigeria, we're open.
Yeah, no, it's not Nigeria, bro.
Yeah, but it's Ghana.
Everybody loves Ghana.
I can't say we welcome you because I'm not from Ghana, but you know, but I'm sure Ghanaians will welcome you.
What are you talking about? First of all, my thoughts were this. Like you said, Stevie Wonder, I believe, has been at the forefront of, fighting for racial justice.
Great.
And has used this, his mouthpiece and his profile to speak out against injustice. Obviously, because he has a visual impairment, it puts him in a position where some of the forefronts that you would see other people, it'll be a little bit more challenging for somebody with a visual impairment to be out there. However, he uses his voice and his personality, his popularity to speak out. What I got straight away when he mentioned the fact that he was going to Ghana was like, damn, Ghana got that free publicity again. You know what I mean? Like, oh my days. Me, Nicki Minaj. We've got Popcorn. Now we've got Stevie Wonder. Wizkid has been living in Ghana for 3 months. Burna Boy's in Ghana. Davido's been out there. Yemi Alade's been out there. Right now, Victoria Kimani. I went out there. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
But we keep, Ghana needs to be applauded for how they have managed to open their doors to the rest of the world and make every visitor feel so comfortable that we can't wait to return. Yeah. Bob Marley, his wife
Ghana,
is there. Listen, Ghana right now, the kind of promotion they're getting, publicity they're getting, this is what countries spend millions of dollars with PR officials.
I'll put it to you.
Kind of create.
What do you think that is? What is it that Ghana is doing that other African countries are not doing?
Okay, first of all, Ghana has connected with the diaspora in a way that other African countries haven't done. In the last 2 years, with the Year of Return in 2019 and the announcement of the Year of Return in 2018, December, which saw at least 40 black influencers from America, from Boris Kojo to Ibro Darden, a lot of them going to Ghana to announce with the president to say 2019 December was going to be the Year of Return where black people from around the world can return home, and Ghana was officially going to open their doors to say, if you're looking for a place to call home, Ghana will be your home. That was a masterstroke by the government, by the president, by the tourism sector, and that opened the door to the benefits that Ghana is reaping right now. 2019 had Afro Nation in Ghana, Afrochella in Ghana, and still Beyonce's mom was in Ghana. Yeah. Ludacris and his wife they had Akon was there. What they did with publicly saying to all black people, especially black people in diaspora, from Latin America to the United States of America, who have craved to connect back with Africa to say, yo, if you're still looking for a place to call home, one, you can come here. We've got a lot of the historical connections that you'd like to see. They still have the slave dungeon. They still have, the point of no return. They still have incredible tourism sites that you can go to. Plus, the people are just absolutely welcoming. The minute, and you put all of that in one pot, it makes it so tantalizing. You want to go there. DJ Abbas said something to me. He said, if you go on YouTube and type my Ghana experience, the videos just keep coming in. That is promo that was never paid for. So to see another superstar like Stevie Wonder, express his disappointment with how black Americans were being treated in the United States of America, but his joy at going to where he feels people will treat him the right way as a black person. At this age, he's in his 70s. Yeah. But he was saying it boldly. I'm sure he'll be in his 70s. Saying it boldly that he's going home to Ghana. That, for me, deserves a round of applause. Listen.
Most definitely. I think it's huge. I did start with the other side, is that I just do feel like, black Americans are in America. You can't. Not all of them. The tide is changing, but everyone's not going to change at the same time. No. Where they're living, there needs to be respect. And we saw through the Black Lives Matter marches, and we saw the uprising of racial equality and everything in America in the last year, especially in the Trump era. But I still feel like there needs to be there needs to be consistency with that. Don't just
leave that.
leave and just
But
leave
it
that.
also can be argued and said that one of the reasons you had a lot more confidence with the younger generation of Black Americans who stood up in 2020 was because a lot of them have now become more comfortable with the fact that they've reconnected with their heritage. People have started to take DNA tests that even though they haven't been to Gabon or they haven't been to Ghana, they can officially say that my ancestors are from Nigeria. That alone, even if you haven't been to that country, you could go on Google and do your research about what tribe particularly your DNA links to. And that gives you a tinge of confidence.
That's
I know
huge,
I say to my kids, like, yo, even though you're born here, you're an Ekiti princess. This is what happens in Ekiti. I show them videos, blah, blah. My daughter went, and it was a different feeling.
Tell you they're from London.
When she went back home to hang out with her grandpas, when she came back, she was a different person. Amazing. So I know how that feels, and I believe that contributed to a lot more confidence that we've seen in the Black people in America. A lot of people talking openly about reconnecting with Africa and wanting to go home. But I'm just thinking, Ghana, man, you're getting the free promo too much.
Big up Ghana, man. Big
up Ghana, man. Absolutely. Now, speaking of Ghana, the king of the news in Ghana, Shatta Wale, has made the headlines for another week. It's impossible, bro. This guy has been 5 straight weeks making the headlines.
But let me first say, Shatta is actually one of my favorite artists in Ghana. He's my top 5 favorite artists in Ghana.
Absolutely.
So it's just, anyway.
Well, the dancehall superstar has hit the headlines for a variety of reasons, with the first being his response to rapper Yapono's tweet saying him and Shatta Wale should engage in a beef because the industry is dull at the moment. Now, Shatta Wale responded saying, and I quote, "We wouldn't be giving any underground artist any hype anymore. Why don't you go to upcoming artists such as Patapa?" End quote. Now, Patapa, on the other hand, took that badly, saying he was disappointed with Shatta Wale's response and shade at him by posting a screenshot of the tweet on his Instagram page saying he was disappointed because he rates Shatta highly and calls him his godfather. Plus, people in the industry they don't give him the respect that he deserves in the game. Yeah. The One Corner star finished by saying he serves a living God. Yeah. And the tables shall turn very soon. Speaks like a true African, isn't
really
it?
does.
I serve a living God. You never fail. I serve a living we all, in our corners, in our room, we have that moment where you're thinking, God will show up for me. What are your thoughts about this story again? First of all,
Shatta threw Patapa under the bus, man. You can't do that, Shatta, man. You can't just if you want to rubbish someone, don't just throw another person under the bus. And I understand with the whole beef thing, it's a bit. There's no need for it. It's dead, man. You just spoke about the Headies where we're promoting unity in the scene. There's so many other ways that you could vibe up the scene or pump it up with some energy. Not a beef, man. No one wants to see people battling unless it's a battle.
But the funny thing, there's a current battle in Ghana at the moment with Shatta Wale and Samini, where Shatta has actually responded to a Samini diss track, which a lot of people have already said was it's very unusual. Shatta Wale he's not responding to a lot of people who is saying that it's beneath him.
He knows he looks at Samini and he goes this is the guy. I'm not gonna let it get away. So for me, I just feel I love how Shatta moves in terms of musical ability, his collaborations, body of work, everything musical. I love it. But some of the things Shatta does sometimes, I just think, Shatta, why now? Why?
And it's comfortable, especially on Instagram. Do you see how he goes in?
He just goes in. I just think, Shatta, sometimes, Charlie, just chill, bro. You know what I mean? And once again, I feel that the person that suffered the most in this is Patapa. That's unfair. Man was just minding his business and he just got thrown in the bus. Thrown under the bus. So I just feel Shatta, relax.
That's what it means when they say you caught a stray bullet.
He caught a stray. It was unfair. It was a bit unfair. And, I get what he was saying with regards to, what's the point of the behavior. But, he shouldn't have done that to Patapaa.
Yeah, man, that's true though. Patapaa in the last couple of months just got married to his German bride. They had like a big wedding in Ghana where he says, he wants to take Ghanaian music international, man. My man still...
ambitious, man.
That was a big record, that one corner.
I'm going to try to sing it, but yeah.
Everybody loved that record, man.
Big tune.
Especially because it came with a dance. A question to ask you. Is it possible for an Afrobeats record to be a super smash without a dance attached to it nowadays?
I think yes. Now, obviously, we're in times where there's TikTok, social media. We know that social media has the power to blow. Going back to Bobby's tune, to blow Bobby's language, to blow anything. But I feel like there is still a way we still can do it. When we go back, look at One Dance. I mean, One Dance had how many billion streams of just a collaboration, So, it is possible. I think there's a lot of reliance now on, a dance move or some social media challenge. But I think, with the right artist and the right song and the right collaboration, I think it can.
What are the angles that you would say you'd advise an artist other than this extremely powerful TikTok, Instagram dance challenges? What areas would you advise an artist to look at promoting and marketing their songs, plus, selecting their collaborations to ensure that they get a big record or success from that collaboration?
So first and foremost, the song has got, I can't give any artist any advice on how to make a hit song, a hit record. That's one thing I can't. I take myself out of the ring for that. I'm not that guy. One thing I can do is, if you've got a good song, with the potential to be a hit record, one thing you got to do the basics, and you've got to reconnect with people in the media and promote that song like your life depends on it. And when I say your life depends on it, I'm not saying look, just don't forget about everything else you've promoted. I'm just saying you release one song, promote that like it's the only song that you have. And when I say promote that, is reconnecting with the people in the industry that have the ability to reach out to even 100 people. This person has the ability to reach out to 200 people. This person has the ability to reach out to 1,000 people. You need to be like Wizkid. Honestly, I feel like, when Wizkid released his most recent album, I feel like he really did his media rounds. I think there were some places that he didn't go by.
Yeah, he didn't touch everybody.
He didn't touch everybody, but I still feel like he reconnected with some people
based on relationships.
Based on relationships, So
I still have a lot to say about, I still have a lot to say about, some of our big stars and how they move. I think we have to ensure that we let the entertainers know that when you are big, it is time for you to also shed a spotlight on some of the platforms that have tried to elevate, that have elevated you to that status. Because when you start to have fledgling careers, those are the media houses that you would have to return to. Now, if you haven't empowered them to get to a position where they can drag you up, they won't be able to do anything to you when you're no longer hot. Exactly. Now, the biggest problem our artists always have, and we say this all the time, when they become superstars, they're looking into somebody else's yard. They want to go run into Ebro, want to go run into this person, that person. The person he's not going to connect with you when you don't have a hot record. I tell you, 3-4 years ago, I know people that the likes of Ebro were very happy to interview. Yeah. Today, they ain't gonna pick up your call because you ain't got a hot record. We gotta be honest with ourselves,
and that's true.
And we need to tell our people that you have to, when you're big, that's when you must go to your Cool FMs, your Beat FMs. You must go to your Represent Radio, your Rins FM. Go there, because people will follow your spotlight to those places. Also empower those places, and when you become cold, you can easily make a phone call and they can make you hot once again. Yeah. But when you take your flames to people that only want you when you're flaming hot, trust me,
I've seen it happen too many times. They come in, they send you a track, I'll play this, and then the moment they get a bit of shine,
they're running to other places.
They're gone, and then you try and message them, or you got any album, no response. But do you know what it is? I don't take it too personal. I just feel like the game is the game, and you remember that, and you just keep doing it, because we do it for the love of it. We don't do it for anything. We do it because we're passionate about it.
Yesterday we were on a clubhouse where we were talking about it was media personalities, the likes of Dotun from Nigeria, Maxwell from Ghana, Remy Bugs, DJ Edu, myself. A lot of people in the room talking about how artists should really connect with media personalities and keep those relationships hot and moving. And like you said, a lot of people within the media space, within the Afropop culture, we're at the bottom of the food chain. You know, a lot of people in this work that we're doing ain't making a dime from it. Do you understand? So people are working and busting their ass based off of passion. Yeah. So whatever ways that the artists can use their platforms and their statuses to give them a little bit of push and a little nod and just to encourage them into different positions, it's very important. You're not only, you know, helping give them a push, you're also opening the door so somebody else can come and leverage on that. And I say that to say this. A lady asked a question in that room, asking how, you know, East African musicians, Kenyan musicians, and Tanzanians and Ugandans could get the type of exposure the Nigerians and maybe the Ghanaians are currently getting. And I said, first of all, the marquee artists and superstars from Kenya have to realize that you investing into other territories is not only about your own success.
It's not.
It opens the door for the younger artists from Kenya coming your way.
Absolutely.
So if you're a Sauti Soul, if you're Ali Kiba, if you're Diamond Platinums, it's important. The Shatta Wale, Stone Boy, to go into Nigeria, go and do the marketing, come into London, go into the markets that celebrate this culture so that other people from your spot will be able to get a look in.
Simply put.
But people think about themselves alone. So it's like, I'm big, man. I don't need to go down there.
Exactly.
Nah, it's not only about you. And we need to start thinking about other people coming behind us. That's the only way that we would reinvigorate this industry, re-energize this industry, and take it to the level and the heights that it's supposed to be in. Bro.
Absolutely.
You know?
Totally agree with you 100%.
Yeah, well, back to the USA, where superstar rapper Boosie Badass caught fire on social media for comments. You're already laughing at this one. He made about comedian Steve Harvey's daughter, Lori Harvey's relationship history. Now, the beautiful young lady is officially dating actor Michael B. Jordan, who a lot of women lost over, by the way. I've got to be honest with you. After allegedly dating a few guys in the entertainment industry in recent times. Now, Boosie said during an interview with Live TV that she shouldn't be given credit for her relationship history, but the man should be commended for dating her and not making her a wife. Let's take a listen, man.
I wake up to all these Lord Harvey fans on my how about I'm hating on Lord. What I want to hate on Lord for? I just said y'all got it up saying that's goals. If you saying that's goals, that means you want your daughter to 7 or 8, 9 in a couple months in the industry. If that's goals, if that's cool with you for your daughter doing that, then I can't say. But what's wrong with y'all is y'all salute the woman who get passed around, but y'all dog the woman who stick by they when they over. Y'all dog the real who stick by they. You heard me? But y'all salute the who go from hand to hand. The world up, but the woman who stick by her, found her one celebrity and stick by that. She's stupid. The world up. I'm just a speaker. The world up.
Boosie Badass's comments were that the guys that have, in his own quote, run through her should be the ones that are congratulated, not her. What are your thoughts about his comments?
I think Boosie needs to be careful, man. Boosie, I don't really like talking like Boosie's a date like. Some of the way he delivers his messages, is very triggering.
Yeah.
Now, the situation with what's her name?
Lori Harvey.
Lori Harvey.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's entitled to her past. Everyone's entitled to her history. She's been very selective with her history.
Yeah.
She only dates people in the industry.
Yeah.
That's her choice. I'm not here gonna point. She's dated this. One thing I would point out is that I was a bit confused about her dating Diddy and his son. Yeah. His son first. That was a bit confusing. I didn't understand that. Yeah. How'd you go from someone's son from the son to the father? That blew my mind. However, having said that, I just feel like as men, it's not our role to point out and say, look, this person has done this, because everyone has a history. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't then say, look, because she's dated that person, I should celebrate it because I've been through it. What kind of celebration is that? What is Boosie talking about?
Let me tell you.
Like, he needs to lie,
now,
man.
what I'm always saying is, let's flip this. Let's just flip the story.
Yeah.
If it was Michael B. Jordan, who's been with 6 of the most desirable women in Hollywood in the last 7 months, we will be applauding
him.
Like,
no one gonna say, "Oh, we
jigger.
should be celebrating the women that's been with Michael B. Jordan, not Michael B." What is he talking about? Come on, man. Like,
I think it comes back to the uncomfortable conversation of misogyny and sexism. Yeah. It's one good for the women or good for the guys, but it's not good for the women.
Yeah.
He said something that also caught my attention, and I thought I'd ask yourself and Kola in the room. He said, if people are saying it's okay and celebrating her, would you like your daughter would you like that to be your daughter? And I thought to myself, how dare he say that? What are your thoughts about that?
I let
So you got So Kola, what are you gonna say, man? I'm throwing the question to producer in the background. I don't think he has his microphone, but he can speak loud, definitely. What are your thoughts? When he said that, that was definitely triggering, that was disrespectful, and I just thought like that was like a side jab, man.
Man.
Yeah, you can't say nothing, is there?
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I know.
I think it's triggering. It's what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, it's just disrespectful, man.
Yeah, it's inflammatory.
Yes.
Inflammatory. That's the word. That's the word. Yeah.
Inflammatory.
You're trying to cause something bigger out of a situation that's just not that big. It's not that, when you flip the coin, it's like you said, when you flip the coin, if it was Michael B. Jordan, we'll be applauding him.
We'll be standing up.
Now, would you like it to be your daughter? What is that supposed to mean?
What's that supposed to mean?
What's the context behind that?
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? So,
and coming from Boosie's comments, it has to be said that Michael B. Jordan came out on social media and put a nice little post up for his baby girl and said, I love you. Celebrated her on Valentine's Day. She came there, put a nice little comment on there. Listen, bro, that's one heck of a good-looking couple. Michael B. Jordan is the sexiest man alive, according to that magazine, People's Choice magazine, I think it is. And Lori Harvey, she fine.
I think they said in that clip as well that right now Michael B. Jordan is the number one male black African male.
He is the sexiest man in the world. People's Choice magazine. This is the first time that I think he's the third black man in history. The first one was Idris Elba, I believe it is. And he is the third one.
To be on People's Choice?
Yeah, as the sexiest man. Wow. So, my man's there. And he's not only an actor, he's also a producer. He runs a film company. He's everything. He is the guy.
I just think Boosie's he was out of pocket with that one. Man. I'm not gonna lie, Boosie's.
They lit him up on social media.
He's had a few out of pocket comments in the past that I've been able to take some. I understand where he's coming from, but he was out of pocket with that one.
Yeah, they lit him up on social media where he had to come back and record another video saying, "Oh, you're lighting my ass." They lit him up, Social media trolls are not playing.
They're not playing, man.
Well, staying in the USA, where this week popular rapper Bobby Shmurda was finally released from prison after spending 6 years in jail. Now, the rapper who famously refused to take a lighter sentence so him and his friend, who was his co-defendant, could get around the same prison time instead of him coming home early and his friends spending a longer time in jail. The rapper was celebrated by the hip-hop community for actions considered honorable, which is opposite of the decision rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine made. Now, 6ix9ine came, 6ix9ine spent 2 years in prison after turning on his former collaborators, who he claimed tried to kidnap and kill him, including sleeping with his girlfriend. That probably would make people turn into rats, right? Anyway, 6ix9ine continues to catch the headlines after recent videos of him and rapper Meek Mill engaging each other in a car park after Meek Mill continuously slammed him for his actions and consistently called him a rat and a snitch, which the hip-hop community frowns upon. Now, it has to be said that Bobby Shmurda was picked up with a private jet by his friend Quavo and flown to New York to meet family and friends, where they had a party for his arrival. The likes of Funk Flex, Fabulous, Rowdy Rebel, his former collaborator, all of them were in the room. It looked hunky-dory. Bobby Shmurda's back home. He grew 4 million Instagram followers within 5 days. Already has a documentary in the works.
His albums went platinum, didn't they?
Branded, I saw Karen Civil walking around in the background. She is the branding genius and social media tycoon expert. What are your thoughts, first of all, on Bobby Shmurda, the Shmurda dance?
I mean, one thing I've got to say is you really have to commend Bobby because he lived that life.
Move closer.
Sorry. He lived that life, and when you live that life, that you abide by a certain code.
And you have to take the circumstances.
I don't live by that life. So if they're telling me to take that life, I'm not taking it. I'm a civilian. Who did it? It's him. It's not me. I don't live that life. Listen. So it was me. I would have been out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Listen, now this is the conversation because during the Drink Champs interview of superstar Pharrell Williams, he said it there that, I pay my taxes. I'm a civilian, and that's why I tell you, don't do any rubbish thing around me, because once the FBI come, I'm telling, he did it, Your Honor, sir.
I'm not even, there's nothing he said that's capped there. Like, look, one thing you have to respect Bobby for is that the life that he lived, he lived it all the way through that sentence, and it's not easy to do a day in prison. He did extra. I don't know how many extra years.
He did
6 years in jail, so that his friend could come out around the same time. Yeah. Otherwise, he would have done less time.
He would have done about 2 years, and the friend could have done
Rowdy Rebel would have done 11 or 12 years.
12 years yeah.
So for me, that's commendable, man, and you really have to take your hat off to that because he saw it through. He understood what was going on. And he felt like, look, at the end of the day, we did the crime. You're gonna ride this together. But once
what
again,
about the flip side of the celebrating of a criminal, an offender? What about that celebration? There was a big welcome home sign put on the New York Knicks stadium, I think it was. The news media went crazy. Even. I'll be honest with you, white media outlets were jumping on the bandwagon like they were secretly thinking, oh man, another black one released from prison. But they're like, oh yeah, welcome Bobby Shmurda. What about the image that was given and portraying the hip-hop community coming out in droves, the red carpet, private jet, girls already in the plane to do whatever to Bobby Shmurda because he's just been out of prison in 6 years. What about that image of celebrating someone who had done wrong?
So here's the thing. My thing is, look, someone who's done wrong is a human being as well.
Yes.
And if you go to jail and you do your time and he's done more time than he really should have. He's a human being. He deserves another chance. This is someone that he's released music in the past that he's a celebrated person. He was on the cusp of being on that level. So people can turn around and say, oh, why are we celebrating him? Blah blah blah. No, but he's done his time.
And
he's went to I don't understand why. And I feel like there's a lot of the right-wing media that always look at people who've done time and just look at them like, oh,
they don't want to give them a second.
But if they just come out of jail, they've done it. What more do you want for them? Do you want to kill them?
They paid their time.
They've paid it. They've done their time.
They paid their dues, man.
So I just feel like celebrate someone who acknowledges like, look, I've done wrong. I've come out to do positive. Celebrate that person. Because we don't know what circumstances and how they've been brought up and the things that they've done. We don't know why they've done
the difficulties that they've come from.
So we can't.
And there was a little clip that's gone viral on social media where he was at a club. And a lady tried to offer him drinks, and he just said no to that. He said, I have my bottle of water, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, bro. Even though I'm out here partying, my eyes are still open. Because now somebody might spike my drink. I go and do a piss test, and I've thrown away my license.
Exactly.
Yeah. So shout out to Bobby Shmurda.
I respect that, man.
For being on his 10 toes.
Exactly.
Man, I ain't crazy just because everything's looking wavy right now. I know how long I spent in that prison. I ain't going back.
And you really have to have like your wits about you when you come out of jail because you're coming out and those guys are looking like, how are we getting this guy back in? Because he's out on license. They're thinking, okay, he's gonna do something,
and he's gonna be on license till 2026 or 2023. One of them long
time. So it's like he's out. but he's not out. He's not. He's not completely through. So you know, he has to be on his P's and Q's, man. And I wish him the very best, man.
Absolutely.
I just hope he puts out some good music, man.
He will, definitely, man. Now, over to Kenya, where this week popular socialite and singer Kote hosted an Instagram Live interview with Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o to discuss the launch of a new children's book. Now, last week we reported on the book titled Sulwe, written about a young black girl who wished she had light skin, basically. Lupita and Akote spoke extensively about the book, her reasons for writing the book, and what she hoped to achieve with its release. Now, Lupita has had an eventful start to 2021, as we have reported here on Headies Live, the official Afrobeats podcast, from being criticized for her lack of response to the Kenyan tourism ministry, to her alleged unhappiness at Naomi Campbell becoming the face of Kenya tourism, to the release of the book, and now engaging one of the most popular influencers in Kenya to promote the book. Whatever you want to say, it seems or it feels like the tide is turning and Lupita is looking to do more in and with Kenya. You know, the criticisms came out, the shocks came out over the last couple of months when Naomi Campbell was announced the face of Kenya. Lupita wasn't happy about that, and the Minister of Tourism had to publicly go out to say they had made several attempts for over 5-6 years to Lupita, and she has not responded. Hence why they were very open to collaborating with someone like Naomi Campbell, who is not of Kenyan origin, however, has declared her love for Africa and has been to Kenya a lot more times than possibly or allegedly Lupita. And she wasn't happy about that. She posted a picture where she said, "You've been looking at me for I'm right here, baby." So it looks like the social media uproar, the public criticism that she got with not engaging with Kenya enough has worked. What are your thoughts?
I think I need a bit more insider knowledge as far as like if they said they've been trying to engage her.
Yeah.
But trying to engage her doesn't mean that because she's not being used as the face of Kenya that someone else can't be used as the face of Kenya.
Yep.
And once again, I love Naomi and I love her love for Africa.
Absolutely.
I love how she engages with
Absolutely.
Nigeria. But the bottom line is that she's not Kenyan. There must be a celebrated Kenyan woman who can promote the Kenyan culture and Kenyan tourism. Okay. We're talking about someone that needs to basically be entwined, embedded in the roots of Kenya to understand. Because I don't know what it takes or what the criteria is to promote Kenyan tourism, but there are a lot of people, a lot of Kenyan women who understand what it takes. I feel like maybe they should have looked into that.
Let me give you a little background on that. When it comes to Kenyan GDP, the tourism sector brings in about 10% of the Kenyan GDP a year, which means is 1/10 of the money that they make is based on tourism. It has gone down by over 75% in 2020, which means COVID has smashed them terribly. Now it is time to get Kenya back to where it used to be and beyond, and they are looking for someone who has the international star power to increase the visits to Kenya as the likes of Ghana has done. Naomi Campbell is without doubt one of the most respected faces in entertainment and fashion over the last 30 years. A partnership with a brand like that would instantly bring natural attention without even adverts. The fact that they announced that collaboration instantly got to CNN. Yeah. That's a $1 million marketing. That's a $1 million advert paid there. So that collaboration as a business, I completely understand it. With Naomi's also obvious love for Africa going back 30 years and a consistent return to different countries, I also get that. And if, like you said, another person that would have been perfect for that was the Oscar Award winner Lupita Nyong'o, who is also been in some of the biggest movies, 12 Years of Slave, Us, Black Panther. She's got a brand that can carry that on her back. However, when the Kenyan Tourism Ministry say, "We've tried to reach you," there has to be some truth in that.
Okay, so you as far as the Naomi situation goes, I think you just explaining that in itself, I've taken a step back and say, okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like, you know, you put Naomi Campbell on the face of Kenya,
Yeah.
on the face of the tourism, and you know, instantly you get
you're getting P Diddy and everybody holidaying there.
Everybody's talking about Kenya straight away. So with that respect, you know, I can understand that. But I think that we still need to understand what the, you know, as Lupita denied it, as she said, they haven't reached out to her.
She didn't say that it didn't, but she just basically said, "I'm right here, baby," which didn't say anything. And the fact that, you know, the minister could go as much as saying that publicly shows that there might be some truth to that, you know. But again, you know, as much as she's been criticized, I also want to use this platform to appreciate her, because it's one thing to get criticism for something you have done or haven't done. It's another thing to take a step back and start to make amends. Jumping on Instagram Live with Akotie is a master stroke, in my opinion, because Lupita could have asked any broadcaster and social media influencer in the world to jump on Instagram Live for an interview about the fantastic book Suwe, which is about to be turned into a musical on Netflix. Exactly. Anybody would have jumped on that. But the fact that she went back home, picked one of the popular faces in Kenya, and had almost a 2-hour conversation where it was basically two African sisters speaking to each other. Yeah. That was a masterstroke.
Huge.
That showed that, yes, she heard the cries and the criticisms, and she was trying to do something. And for that, you got to applaud my sister. Yeah. We love you, and we want you to come home. That's it.
Yeah, I love Lupita, you know. Lupita can't do no wrong.
Nah,
you know.
she's amazing.
Yeah, I love her, man. So
she's amazing, definitely. And now, to the segment that I sent earlier to you, D-Boy, it was shortly, I think about 48 hours ago, there was a series that launched on BBC iPlayer. For the Love or Money, you said it was.
For Love or Money.
For Love or Money. And in this documentary, they got to a position where they were talking about internet fraud and all sorts of scammers, and they got to a position where they showed Nigerian hit record Yahuze by Olumentane, and used that as an illustration to talk about, you know, internet scammers and fraudsters and how they propagate their business and the lifestyle that they live in. Let's take a look at that.
Break their success.
Can you tell us about the cultural impact that this type of scam has had?
Well, there's a lot of glamorization of the lifestyle. So the scammers definitely make a big show, for example, about having flashy cars or showing their cash and spending a lot, and they might do this on social media. You also see it a lot in music, for example, in the rap scene or even in the hip-hop scene. There's quite a famous song called Yahuzi by the Nigerian singer Olumentane. The name is basically because a nickname for these scammers are Yahoo boys. And you've got this music video where they're drinking all of this champagne and throwing money around.
It's almost celebrated then.
Definitely. And I think what's concerning is that a lot of people look up to the scammers. And so for a lot of people in the region, it doesn't matter how you got your money, it just matters that you have wealth.
Caroline, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I found that fascinating.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, my brother, that video says everything. The shock for me was that, you know, Yahuze was probably 2007, 2000.
Even maybe before that.
2006. And to have used that song to describe, you know, internet fraudsters and scammers. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
Well, I mean, there's always this stereotype about, you know, Nigerians and scammers and stuff, and you know, it doesn't always sit well with me. I know, like, before, you know, I'll go back to the Hush Puppy situation. I know before Hush Puppy was arrested, a lot of people were saying that, you know, Hush Puppy does this, Hush Puppy does that. And I always used to say to people, you do not know Hush Puppy, so how can you say he does this? But lo and behold, they were right. You know, but my thing was, you know, like, I just feel like the stigma around, like, African musicians and Africa and Nigeria and the way we you know, it needs to be shaken off, and it didn't sit well with me.
But why?
It didn't sit well with
my
me
thing
at all.
was
It
the
just- I
fact
just didn't
that they
like it.
also decided to use that song to almost say like that artist and that record was glamorizing that career, that side of the world or whatever, was also in a way. Didn't you think they were kind of like pointing fingers at the artist? As well?
Yeah and no, but what they're saying, I think yes and no. But what I feel like they were more saying is that, look, we are looking at you when you sing these songs. We're watching your social media. These are things. This is how we identify you.
Absolutely.
This is how we pick up. This is how we. Otherwise, we don't know. If you're doing fraud and you keep quiet, how do we know? Even in that same documentary that I watched, there were a few people that were scammed. That the identity of them was not revealed. So we don't know if they're African. We don't know if they're Belgian. We just know that. We found out in the end that they were scammed.
Yeah.
So these people that go and do scams and then you go and put it on social media and you go and sing about it, I did this, I did that. And we're just talking about fraud and scams here.
Yeah.
Rappers do it sometimes in the crime that you do. In drill and hip hop.
Why rapper in America, YMN, YWN Melly or whatever his name
YBN
is.
Melly, yeah.
My man's facing life for killing two of his friends, allegedly killing two of his friends. Unfortunately, the FBI have a song where he basically tells the story and an audio, and that's what he's going to face in court. We've seen drill rappers that have also faced a lot of heat for some of them saying what they've done in their music and also turning around to bite them. Sadly, we saw what happened with the FBI and Murder Inc., where Murder Inc. basically lost a record label because of the allegations that the FBI felt that the record label was being funded from drug money that ultimately brought down the empire that was at the top of the game. Now, I was just thinking to myself, if Olumentane was still at the top of the game and a documentary like this came out, imagine what the police were basically saying. Is that we've seen that you celebrate these cats, you hang around them, your social media, instantly that could have put his career in jeopardy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, when you look at, you know, some of these guys that do these things and talk about what they do, you know, the argument is always usually, well, actors aren't judged by the same yardstick.
I wanted to say the same thing.
Why a musical artist judged?
I wanted to say the
but
same
it's like
thing.
it's unfortunate. I know there's a state now in America that they've turned around and said like your music, your lyrical content will be used against you in court.
Bro.
So
they're doing it in Miami.
The rules of the game have changed, and you have to play accordingly. Like, as unfortunate, music represents more real life than movies do.
Bro.
As unfortunate, it's the case. People when they write songs, they say, I'm inspired by these events that happened. It's unfortunate that is the case. Rappers would say, look, this is my life and that's what I'm rapping about. Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't going on Terminator saying like, I lived the Terminator life and I was killing people. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know like what they're saying as far as like creative
space.
But you know, you just have to find the right balance, man. And it's just unfortunate. If you're doing fraud, don't go and talk about it now.
Put it on social media.
Why are you doing it on social media? Using, you know, you got all your cash on your table, you're doing the telephone thing, and you're like, come on.
Bro, look at the last 1 week and the news that broke, even with the Hush Puppy situation that you mentioned. It was allegedly, it was reported that the way he got on the FBI radar was the fact that he connected with Black China when she went to Dubai. So the story goes something like this. Allegedly, when Black China went to Dubai, Hush Puppy decided that he wanted to roll out the red carpet and show her around in style, helicopter rides and champagne lifestyle. Whilst he was doing that, what happened was the FBI thought, who's this guy that's all of a sudden spending this much money connecting with this young lady? They go on the social media, they have a bunch of questions, they decide to delve deeper, voila.
Yeah, so it's
so basically, social media is a no-no.
I just don't understand how you feel the nerve, like to if you're doing fraud, you then want to show your cash and your illegal gotten gains and then make it, you know, come on, you can't do that. You can't, if you're going to do fraud, like what happened to the old, I'm not encouraging anyone to do fraud at all. Like I don't encourage it at all, but bro, if you're going to do fraud, like you need to be incognito. Like you should even have a social media account. For what? Why do you have social media? For what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a shame, man. Like, hopefully...
Casanova is looking at a long time in prison at the moment, allegedly because of words that came out of his mouth, either in an interview or on a song.
I think he said something on the Breakfast Club, didn't he?
Apparently, they're even saying on Vlad TV or it might be in a record as well. So it's a madness. And someone, a broadcaster actually said that, she has it on good authority that if they nab him on this one, it might be for life, bro.
I just feel like, these situations are going to continue, they're going to keep coming, because I just don't feel like people learn. You're not learning that social media, as much as it's a tool for, to promote yourself, it's also a tool like, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Like, if you're doing something illegal, first and foremost, you shouldn't be doing something illegal. But if you're doing something illegal, why are you promoting yourself? Stay away from it and be careful. And I know, like, the media, it's interesting because some of these artists, they come and, they're promoting a song, they're promoting a single, and, they feel like they have to do the press runs. And people will ask them questions. You don't have to answer every question.
Yep.
You don't have to answer every question. So, I wish all of them the best. I do wish Casanova the best because, I just
he embraced the culture.
He embraced the culture. I like his character. He came to Nigeria. I love how it was moving.
That was the first place he went to when he had his passport.
And
speaking about people that don't answer questions, Pooh Shiesty, one of the hottest rappers in America right now, there was a story that he was allegedly involved in some kind of situation. And at the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne asked a question to him, and he just said, "Yo, I've got an album out." I'm not saying, he's
smart. He's smart.
Like, yo,
I don't know who's advising these people, but it's not every question they ask that you have to answer. Like, swerve the question, swerve it, swerve a response, and it comes down to like them being media trained as well. Like,
yes.
And being media trained, it's not my responsibility to media train. If my job is to ask you questions. If you want to answer, my job is to ask you questions, and I hope you answer it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna answer it and it puts you in a situation, now your fault be that too, not my fault too. So
it's funny you said that because one of my friends in America actually this week, it hit me up, and he still made reference to the interview you had with Burna Boy and the viral video.
It's funny that because I still had a conversation about that on Clubhouse, but
so let me explain to people. Now, D-Boy, like I said, is a broadcaster, a colleague of mine on the beat, 103.6 FM. He's got the Come Chop Friday shows every single Friday between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. UK time, that is. So wherever you are in the world, make sure you tune in. So he had an interview, or he gave, Burna Boy gave him an interview a couple of years ago. And he was speaking about Afrobeats and the growth of Afrobeats music. And D-Boy said to Burna Boy that the UK was also, was responsible for elevating Afrobeats to the world. What happened? Burna Boy's response was, "The UK has nothing to do with Afrobeat."
He shut it down. He didn't give it. Yeah.
However, what a lot of people didn't understand about that back and forth was Burna Boy felt D-Boy was talking about Afrobeat music and the UK having an impact on Afrobeat, which was originated by Fela Kuti. However, D-Boy was talking about Afrobeats, Afro-pop music, and the impact of the UK when it comes to spreading it to the world.
Can I just say something? I think it was a teachable. It was a learnable, a teachable moment for myself as well, as someone within this space, this media space, and being able to interview people, being given the opportunity to interview people and ask them questions, and understanding the person I'm interviewing, and being able to deliver my question in a way where
you understand
it. Because it's funny, I had I don't know how many conversations I had with you after that interview, and we went back and forth about it. And I've learned so much from yourself. Like, some people, when you're asking questions, you need to be very tactful, and you need to basically be very direct. And I didn't feel I feel like I'll hold my hand up and say I probably didn't deliver that question to the best of my ability. So I feel like I could have asked it in a different way, but at the same time, I feel like he didn't give me the room to even let the he shut it down. He was like, I ain't trying to hear that. He just like,
And the reason I brought that up is my friend in Houston was talking about Afrobeats culture and talking about Burna Boy as an artist, and he made reference to that video as a video that that tells him a lot about the artist and about the culture, and he's talking about that today. So that shows you how far, how much these things travel. And the kind of message it carries, you know, how impactful this can be, whatever it is that we're doing in these small rooms that we think we're just talking to ourselves. So, you know, once again, if nobody giving you flowers already, you know, you're doing a great job, my brother. We appreciate you for being in the culture. You know, the culture is, you know, is better for people like yourself.
Thank you, sir.
And the passion you bring to it, bro. And now, before we go to the end, this is our brand new segment where we recommend movies, music, or anything we've seen in the last week and feel our audience will be great to check out. For me, it's very simple. The Gets album, Conflict of Interest. Gets is a UK rapper, a UK rap icon, one of my top 5 rappers of all time, UK, America, whatever. If they say I pick my Avengers of rappers together to defend my life, Gets is one of those.
Gets is a monster, man.
That album is ridiculous. Conflict of Interest. Check it out. What about you?
For me, it has to be Obi, of course, featuring UG, Blessings Over Me, new single. He put that out on Friday. And, you know, Obi, of course, is a UK rapper that's been, you know, he's been doing bits for about 4 or 5 years now. He's been in the industry. But teaming up with UG was a genius from him because, you know, his lane has always been like UK rap. But understanding... pulled it to one side and understood that, look, UG can give me a little sprinkle on it. And that song is like, it's doing what it's supposed to do right now. It came out last Friday, so go check that out, man. Amazing video. He went to Ghana. One thing I rate about Obi is that he actually went all the way to Ghana to shoot the video. He went to meet UG in Ghana. It showed that his intent. And, you know, he went to Ghana.
Respect for the culture.
The video, so it's out now on all platforms. Go stream that.
Speaking about, you know, collaborating, on the album, we get Conflict of Interest. It's got Skepta on there. It's got, what's her name now? There's one... lady in South Africa. It's not Busiswa, it's the other Moonchild Sinelli. Moonchild is on there, you know. So everybody's starting to get in touch with their African roots and they understand that collaborations takes them a little bit further. And I'm finishing is the Shopsy Do's Hot 5 tracks of the week. We have Boke by Rexy featuring Mobad. It's a smash record. Hallelujah, Mastercraft featuring Zlatan and Bella Shmurda. Smash record. Turn Up by Yemi Alade. Smash record. Chargy by Sean Tizzle is a smash record. And finally, I'm finishing with this. Number 5 is Joe Boy in Police. Go and check this 5 out. Trust me, man. You would love it.
Shopsy Do's Hot 5.
When I see your face, I sleep well.
My Hot 5. Now, finally, we end in South Africa where Jerusalem hitmaker Master KG's lawyer has launched an attack at large companies who use the Jerusalem Challenge as a marketing tool for them and their products. Now, Master KG, who is signed to Warner South Africa, had his lawyer pursue these companies whom he said their intentions were individualistic on using the song and they were not joining in the fun challenge. Last week, his colleague and popular DJ producer Prince KB took to Twitter to defend Master KG, reiterating the same fact that he was right to go after the companies that hid behind the Jerusalem Challenge banner, but really were promoting their own brands and companies. Prince KB says companies that fail to get proper clearance and rights to use the song for monetary and popularity gain should pay accordingly. What are your thoughts, my brother?
Do you know what? Honestly, I just feel like how do you police that? Like the challenge is creating a momentum for you as an artist for the record. The record is growing, and then you want to now challenge people that are using it.
Companies.
The companies.
Companies that have kind of, some people have kind of added
behind the balance.
They've added it to their promo and stuff.
But at the same time, he's still benefiting. They're still benefiting from that. They're still benefiting from streams. They're still benefiting. How do you police that?
Now, this is what I would say to that. I completely agree with you. How would you police that, especially in this social media age? The challenges are the important facts that basically took that record to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
The Jerusalem challenge was ridiculous and shut things down. However, some companies that have, massive social media following and understand youth culture and see what's trending in the world and whatever, quickly jumped on that, use one little challenge and put like a little product in there and whatever. Once you add your product or any marketing stuff to that challenge, it becomes a soundtrack to your commercial.
So I'll put this to you. So how about people who, individuals who have like sort of beauty products that use the challenge for their beauty? Individuals,
Nah.
How do you? It's difficult.
So
at what point do you draw the line?
So the point you draw the line will be the big companies. When you have, big soda companies, big branded companies that have used the music as a soundtrack, they got it. Why don't you go for them, bro?
Pay the money.
Listen, I'm not going to go for anybody that just wants to promote like a little face wash or lip balm or eyeliner or whatever. No, I'm going for the big dogs. And the fact that his lawyer came on TV and was speaking publicly about that, they've identified a couple big dogs that they know this, negative publicity will be bad for, and they'll be able to cut a check. So cut that check. Bro.
If there's precedent, because ultimately, they have to agree to cut the check. If they're not cutting the check, you have to take it to court.
A lot of the companies are also hiding behind the fact that the president of South Africa, at the point where the record almost became the soundtrack to South Africa around the world, the president also encouraged citizens to jump on the challenge to help promote this record because it was doing well. So everybody wanted to identify with that.
It's a huge record.
It's close to about 400 million views on YouTube, multi-millions on Spotify or whatever, but people might hide behind the fact that the president gave us a call and told us to jump on the challenge.
My thing is, when you do a challenge, what do they want from a challenge? When an artist or a team or promo marketing team put a challenge together, your goal is to get the song get viral.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you're getting that because companies are also using their platform to grow the song.
They need to
now
pay.
You want to get check from them as well.
They need to pay, bro. Yeah, listen, when you're a company, I'm saying this to a big company, and there's a viral challenge going on, before you jump on the song...
Don't jump on it.
No, before you jump on it, make sure you get clearance. I'll give you an example. Naira Marley's Is a Goal was huge in the World Cup year. Coca-Cola wanted a piece of that. You know what they did? They gave him a phone call, flew him to Nigeria. He did a remix with Fowles and a bunch of other people, Simi and all that. They made it a commercial.
But that's different.
For Coke.
But that's different. If you make it a commercial...
Yeah, but still, it was because they knew that if they had done anything social media with it, the call will be coming. And besides, it's a big company. Why don't you go?
People were saying it's different. This was more of a challenge.
It's a challenge.
What
Yeah.
companies were doing they were doing that dance.
They're doing that dance.
Yeah, Police Force, all these different companies were doing that dance.
Yeah, but they had their brand behind them. You know what I mean?
And Shopsy's like, yo, cut the check. You got the money, so cut the check, yo.
When I saw the lawyer, I was jumping. I was like, my jigger, cut that check. That's it. Listen, nowadays, everything is, people are making a mad living on social media. Social media people are making millions.
I'll ask you another question.
Yeah.
If that song wasn't doing the kind of numbers that it was doing, and the social media like a Coca-Cola jumped on it and it did the challenge, and the song wasn't as huge as it was, would you ask for a check then?
Yeah, because they're still a big brand. Cut the check. Listen, you're vulnerable once you're a big brand. So don't you
cut that check. I don't care.
Once you're a big brand, don't be messing with, small people. Because the way we see it is when big brands coming to small, to come and kind of like ride a situation, they're coming to influence, you kind of boss
I get what you're saying.
around.
Sometimes it can be seen as
exploiting. Bro, you're speaking about the same thing. Just to round up, there was a comedian in Kenya, I've forgotten what his name was. He found out on social media that the biggest mall in Kenya, I think Mall of Kenya, had used his image to promote stuff on social media. He hit them with $100,000 lawsuit. Cut the check. Once you're a big brand, make sure your social media operators Don't just move on. You think Manchester United would jump on Jerusalem on social media? Nah, bro, you're making money off of that. But anyway, on that note, we end this week's episode of Headies Live, the official Afrobeats podcast. It's the same place, same time. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, and we appreciate everything. And most of all, I want to thank you, my brother, for coming in today. Dio D-Boy, where can people catch you, man?
Check me out on all social media platforms at @DBoyDio_, at @DBoyDio_. And of course, I'm on the Beat London every Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Come to Fridays with Mansour Bello, Niger Boy, Afrobeats, bang.
Simple, man. On that note, from me, D-Boy, and Carla behind the camera is peace, and we're out.